Hey everyone, it's a beautiful day in Florida, and today we're going to work on something that I use actually all the time, and it's finally come to the point where I need to do some maintenance on it. This is my Raychem Thermogun, and I have had this for about 25 years. I think it was probably old when I got it, and the electrical cord has finally kind of had it. And when I was doing the Motorcraft light, it finally popped. So there's something going on in here that we've got to figure out. The cord itself looks good, but anyway, it looks pretty easy to take apart. Switch is right here, so the wiring probably goes right into here. You got to figure out take this off and the strain relief. Put a new cord on, or just cut this one back, because this cord is still flexible, still good. So that's our mission. Let's get busy. Oh, Muggsy's coming to help. All right, I've certainly never worked on one of these before, so let's see what's behind the switch. I think the wires are broken right there. These are small screws. Let's see. It doesn't want to just turn, it's pulling on the wires. See if we can compress that strain relief and get that out. Okay, so you see how I got that out? You got this little tab here, and you press it, and it'll come out. So now we should be able to take this nut off pretty easily. You'd think, but it doesn't feel like it's getting looser. Wild. I don't know what's holding that on, but okay. Oh yeah, look at this. All right, let me get a close-up so we can see. Wow, I'm surprised. This is actually quite bad. Zoom in here. Look at, there's exposed wire there. There's exposed wire there. That's wild. Wow. So that was really coming apart. So I guess, I don't think I'm going to reuse this cable. I'll cut back into it and see how dry the wire really is. So, all right, I'm gonna cut the cable. And let's, oh yeah, look at, I'm crushing this. We're gonna strip some of this off, some of this black insulation off. I'm going to look at this wire. It looks like the inside insulation of this, whatever it is completely dried up. So we're going to need to get a new cable for this. So let's see. Yep, look at this. Look at that. Wow. So here's why this went bad. Even though the exterior insulation on this cable is good, Watch this green. Look at it crumble. So this cable's no good. Get rid of that. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, it took me a bit to find a cable. This is really ugly to use this green, but I need a pretty heavy gauge. And I think this is a 14 gauge. Most power cables are going to be 18. Hi, Muggsy. So I need something pretty heavy for this. Let's boy, oh boy. I'm thinking I might want to take this whole thing apart because whoa. All right, let me the camera get a close-up of the inside here because it looks like we got to take this whole thing apart. Right, Muggsy? I really don't know how old this thing is. I suppose I should look it up. But I'm not sure if you can see. And inside, look at that. This wiring is split all over the place. It's not just the power cord. It's this black wire going right to the switch. It's all bad. So, this has turned into a bigger job than I thought. I'm gonna figure out how to take this whole top apart. So let's just start disassembling stuff and see. Right, Mugs? Take this off. Just to see if anything's hiding. Any screws or anything. Got a screw here. This, I only see one screw here holding this piece on. And it's a very shallow. That's really it? Yep, that's it. Okay. All right, so here's what's inside. And it looks like we're gonna just keep going and going and going into this thing. Boy, I thought this was gonna be an easy job. Yeah, it looks like there might be a set screw in there. I just really can't see it. So, let me see. If I can get the set screw out, get this off, that might be the key. So if you can hear that music in the background, there's a park near here, and They must be having some type of wedding or something there. I'll try to filter it out, but I doubt I'll be able to. Ah, there is a set screw. Oh, we got it. That sounded like it broke, but we actually got the set screw out. Okay, we'll put a little penetrating oil in here. So what we're trying to do is, I gotta get this guy off because I can't get in here. This is a interesting problem. Get in there a little bit more now. Let's push it back down. A little more penetrating oil. Got it. Oh, that was easier than I thought. Wow. All right, so there's a lot of wires to this thing. I have to pay very close attention to what's going on here. These wires look good. So I'm going to need a soldering iron. I got to disconnect this wire from the switch for starters. Okay. Yeah, careful of this insulation here. I don't want to lose that. All right, now this white wire, so the plus feed is going there, and the white wire is going into this wire nut in here, which I don't know how I'm going to get to that. Maybe I can feed it through here. I don't want to take this whole motor apart here if I can at all avoid it. So let's make some room. Let's get this out of the way. Just going to put this screw back on where it goes, because I've got too many tiny screws in the area now. All right, let's look at it. It's just crazy how brittle this is, but all the heat that's inside this gun is probably the reason why. We've got the black. Let's just cut this. Let's cut these guys here. That out, pull that green out, white, bring it up around. Maybe we can get this wire nut here, which is probably also damaged, to come up through there. Almost. Ah, got it. Okay. All right, so here's we got our setup. Neutral goes there. Green goes there. I gotta watch this insulation. It's falling inside the unit. So that a little tiny washer just fell out of there. I wonder where that went. And black goes there. So we now know where it goes, where the wiring goes. Let's see if we can get at it. How's this wire nut? This wire nut's good. Look at this. Look at these wires. I'm just amazed this thing lasted as long as it did. Now I feel kind of foolish for using this thing all this time. Because, wow, this thing was ready to blow for a long time. Get all the debris from the wires. All right, so now I've got a path. These wires are good. They're not crumbling, which is a good thing. So I'm going to kind of cut further back into this and see if the wires are crumbling all the way through, because it's odd. It certainly is odd. It seems, yeah, it's likely. Yeah, it's even far back like that, the wires are crumbling. All right, this is the cord we're going to use. It's not as quite an ugly green, but it's what we're going to have to use. So I'll use some lineman's pliers. Yeah, this is thick, very thick wire. Let's cut into that. Gonna have to go pretty far back to get that green wire, so probably about here we'll start, and we'll see. Hopefully we got it right. We'll go a little longer because it's easy for me to cut it shorter. This is an outdoor power cable. So this insulation is going to be a little bit thicker. I'm not pushing pressure here. I'm just going around it until I've cut through the outer insulation, because I don't want to cut in obviously to the inside insulation. Looks like we're mostly through. Got it. Okay. All right, let's see what we've got. So if I go all the way through, I need to go all the way through to the green. So we're going to test the length here. Oh, this is really thick wire. Okay, I definitely cut it too long. It's going to be big enough. A lot of wire here. I'm going to have to go to a bigger size. Let's try a blue, just to fit all this wire in. Let's turn this down. Good. And blue, so it's a blue crimp, so we're going to use blue, which is the third right there. Test it. It's good. Okay, we don't need as much on the black as going to the switch. About here. Don't need much because I'm going to solder it back onto the switch. So I don't need a lot of exposed wire here. And the white, I'm going to keep the white long because it's got to go in, and I've got to attach these two very short wires to it, which is going to be fun. And we're going to go back to a wire nut. I'd rather not use a wire nut for this, but that's what we're going to do. One, because I can't use shrink tubing because my heat gun's down, although I could probably do it with a hair dryer. This wire nut was good, right? Not brittle? No, good. All right. Goes there. We're going to go through the nut. Let's see. Got enough here. Yep, I cut it close, but we've got enough. Okay, let's attach the green. That'll kind of help hold our cable in place and get this green wire out of the way. Okay. Green is in. Now we've got very little space here. These are short. I don't know why they did this. Maybe this thing's been rewired in the past. Let me try. Yeah, that's not good enough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder these wires together. And then I'm going to put the wire nut on. I'm going to put just a little bit of solder because I just don't trust that they're going to hold together like that. I don't even like the wire nut. I don't like the idea of putting this here. Well, I get ready for that, yeah. Oh, I gotta get some, let me get some solder paste. Yes, I know, the solder paste is quite old. But it does the job. Tight, be all in. All good. Now let's try this wire nut. Really doesn't look like there's enough room here to put this wire nut on. Yeah, there's no way this is going to get pushed all the way in there, reversed like it was. That's okay. Let's work on the switch. Okay. Let that cool. Let's get some liquid electrical tape. Put on the switch. Boy, I don't like this strain relief at all. This is giving me some problem. I'm going to put the camera on pause. I'll figure that out. I got to crush it and push it in there at the same time. Okay. So what I found, on top of the wire nut possibly being in the way, was that the fan blades themselves on that shaft with the set screw were a little crooked. So I kind of bent them back into shape. And that might be the cause, that may have been the cause of that sound that we had. But we are ready to go back into service. we're good to go. All right, it turned into a somewhat bigger job than I expected. I thought it would be pretty easy to change the cord, but it was really tight in there, and that power cable was probably the worst I've ever seen, where the outer insulation was fine, and it was, I guess the word would be beguiling, that the inside was literally crumbling apart and was that dangerous. But it served me well for 25 years. It was certainly worth fixing, and also it's my only heat gun. So now it's probably good for another 25 years. So please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. I've always got more coming. And thank you again to all who have subscribed. And I'll close with my common phrase that if you have something like this and you think it needs to be repaired, don't be intimidated. You can do it. You saw what I did. It's not that difficult. I had never done one of these before. Basically, you can figure it out as you go, step by step. And, you know, just go out, get busy. Take care.